What's up? Black men have to use their mind over being a slave to their carnality. Now, if you're a black man out there and you're trying to self improve and gain a grounded identity in being a black man, I have a deep dive guide on all of those things when it comes to coming together with other black men, when it comes to eating healthier, when it comes to seeing the black community rise, learning black history, learning who to look up to in black history, and just a deep dive on all the things of self-improvement and gaining that grounded identity and being black and loving being a black man. So if you're interested in those things, I have a link for that in the comments of this video, in the description of this video, and if you click on my channel in the bio section, you'll see the link for that. Now, when we dive into carnality, when we dive into our innate desires as human beings, we cannot let that rule us. Because when you see a group of people who are ruled by sex and what we eat and our emotions, that's the lower side of a human being. The higher side of a human being is when they can fully control themselves. And I've heard many different men talk about that, how there's, especially in the black community, our culture is very entrenched in just our natural desires, as far as, those human desires of sex, of just eating whatever we want, doing whatever we want, not having any structure. And I think that is the beauty of being a black man, is that you can be a creator, that you can do what you want, as far as you're not being held back by anything. And that's supposed to be our state of power, where we are at our most strongest version of ourselves. And I believe when you're a black man, you can create structure. You can create structure in how you think and structure in how you live. And I believe that's what we need more of in the black community. One thing that I'm seeing that's emerging nowadays is more of like this matriarchal type of thinking, where everything is free, everything is there's no structure behind anything. Anybody can be what they want, anybody can do what they want. It's all about, love, you know. And that, I see, is a problem, because it's getting away from uh a patriarchy in a especially the black man. That's who I feel like they suppress the most in being masculine, or being strong, or being a creator. And I believe when they get us into being degenerate, they get us into being hypersexual, they get us into being a person who has they're emotionally dysfunctional, where anything happen, they'll kill somebody, they'll hurt somebody, and that really be targeted to like people within the community. And that's what we have to stop, because the more and more we see of that, the less we're going to see strong masculine men come out of the black community and be able to be a creator and be able to lead the black community. Because nowadays we have a false sense of what masculinity and what a strong man is in the black community, because it's so associated with being a criminal, a thug, a uh, a black man who doesn't he doesn't do anything positive for himself, you know. And we associate that with okay, he's masculine, he's a real nigga, he can kill somebody, he's dangerous, he sell drugs, he smoke weed, he drink alcohol, that's a real man. And you can kind of see how being that's closely associated with being a man in the black community. And I don't like that, because that's what's causing us to self-destruct. And in the future, we want to see the black community rise, we have to get back towards the black man being the leader. And you see throughout history, anytime they had a strong black man who was conscious, and they knew how to organize with people, and they had a vision and a clear goal of how they wanted things to change, those were always the revolutionary black men. And guess what? They had to suppress them. They had to try to make them ineffective, or they try to assassinate those type of men. And that's why I believe there is a target on the black man being a slave in various different forms. He can be a slave to his job. He can be a slave to, his own instincts and his own desires. And he can just be a slave to the system, and be a slave to being a consumer. And what we have to get in the mindset of being a producer, being a creator. And I'm gonna be real with you, like, that does not happen through talking about it. That does not happen through preaching about it. And I believe I was just talking to a older guy, and I could tell he had a sincere heart as far as trying to teach me how I need to think and how I need to move. And he was telling me that I need to stay grounded and staying disciplined and embodying the message that I put out, right? And I think that that is the number one thing that we have to understand. It's all about what you do in real life. It's all about what's happening when the cameras are off, you know. And I believe that in time, I'll truly embody that message, and that's when that's when I feel like I'll be more confident. I'll be more bold, and the message will be more grabbing to people. But yeah, man, that's how I look at it. That's how I think that's how I see the black man really rising and becoming strong, and the black community rising. And I believe that anytime you see in a community where the man is weak, the whole community is weak. And I've said this before many times with conversations with other dudes and other guys, where uh anytime you look at a household and the man is like messed up mentally, or something going on with him and he ain't doing right as far as his mentality, the whole house kind of is like that. And then when you look at if he's doing good and the man is strong and the man is structured and the man has discipline, the whole house got discipline, the whole house got structure, and everything is ran more peacefully. So it's all about just getting away from those things that make you a slave, getting away from those things that cause you not to do what you actually want to do in this life. And I believe as time goes on and we have more black men come together and improve with these things, that's when we'll really see our true power and our true nature as being a creator, and not being a person that's under somebody, that's oppressed by somebody. We're gonna have our own sovereignty, and nobody's gonna be able to come and abuse us and do evil to us. And yeah, man, that's just something that I'm really trying to embody, because I know in my own personal life I got my own struggles. I'm not perfect. I go through things happen, but I'm just trying to embody that message as well, and not be a slave to anything. And there's so many things. It's so many things that a lot of black men are a slave to, and they don't even realize it, because it's coded in pleasure. It's coded in, oh, that's cool to do. My culture says I'm more of a man if I do that. So that's pretty much all I got to say. Peace out.